Great team.
Thank you.
I'll read the letter first from the governor. I'm pleased to nominate Mark J. DeFrancisco as chairman of the Appellate Tax Board to a term expiring on February 28, 2026. I submit this nomination and designation for the advice and consent of the Executive Council pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 58A, Section 1. I appreciate your consideration of this nominee. A resume is attached for your convenience. Sincerely, Charles D. Baker. Mr. DeFrancisco, do you have anyone to testify on your behalf?
Yes, I do. One witness, former chair.
It's terrific. They come sit here and tell us.
He's here to testify for both nominees. Give him a lay down. Maybe we can have him testify both at the same time.
It's fine with me.
That's a suggestion.
Yeah, I like.
Great suggestion. Would you like to do that?
I'm fine.
All right. Tell us who you are and what do you have to say?
Well, Tom Hammond, I am a former chairman of the Appellate Tax Board for 16 years. I've worked with both individuals at length. I knew Mark as when I was a litigator at DOR. He was chief counsel. I was participated in the hiring process of Tricia when we hired her as a staff litigator in 2004. I subsequently dragged her down to the Appellate Tax Board to serve as a counsel, and she ultimately became a commissioner. I've known Mark for 30 years plus. I got him to teach practice and procedure at the graduate tax program at BU Law School, and he's gotten rave reviews. He's patient. He understands the law. He understands procedure. He'd be embarrassed to admit this, but he probably has authored over 1,000 opinions from the Appellate Tax Board when he was chief counsel, and he's been serving as commissioner for the last, 2 years? And excellent demeanor, patient, probably a lot more patient than I was as chairman, but I think he knows his stuff, and the Commonwealth's going to have a better person as chairman. So unless you have any questions.
For the next nominee, we can talk about the next nominee too.
So I have a question.
What's your question, Council?
I don't know, everybody's talking.
Well, you're the only one talking.
To the chair, can I?
Do you have a question for the witness?
You left us.
I did.
Oh, my God. I was there 16 years for you. But I have to tell you, you really were the best chair. And I really, was sorry to hear you go. But, life goes on and you need to have a life. So I understand. So tell me, you've had, 30 years of life been nominated. Tell us, what do you think, what qualification do you think of when you think of him and being on as the chair of the board?
I would say integrity. He has personal integrity. He adheres to the letter of the law, but he has patience and the demeanor to communicate with the people that appear before him, explain the reasons for decisions, and cases expeditiously but fairly.
Thank you for your testimony. So I enjoy your retirement.
Thank you. Would you like to share your statement for the next person?
Sure.
Since we've got you here, we might as well.
All right.
Expeditious.
I first met Patricia Good in 2004 when we hired her as a staff attorney at the Department of Revenue. He was in the Norfolk DA's office before that and had other experience in the tax arena. Excellent writer. She gets right to the bottom line, and got her to come down to the Appellate Tax Board as staff counsel. Ultimately, she filled an unexpired term as a commissioner, was subsequently appointed as a full commissioner in 2015, and she's up again for her go-around. And she's matched my reappearances at the Governor's Council. She's got excellent demeanor. She's got a great courtroom presence, and I will list both of them as retirement, but after 43 years of working for the Commonwealth, I thought it was time to pack it in. So
Well deserved.
the board is in good hands with those two if you approve their nominations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else to speak in favor of? Anyone to speak opposed? That Hearing none,
Madam Chair, given that they're reappointments, I'm going to move that we waive their opening statements. They've given them before. It's a reappointment.
are you comfortable?
Second that. Second.
Excuse me, I'm running the hearing, please. I have a question, but are you comfortable with that?
I have no objection to that.
Okay, then let's do that, and I'll start the questioning. Sophia?
You and I have spoke. I think you're doing a great job. Haven't heard one complaint, but I guess either of you, actually. I know people that appear there. I've never appeared there, but you both have my support next week. So thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you very much, Council.
Council Jubenville?
I would repeat what Council Ferrera said. And if Tom Hammond says you're the man, you're the man. So I'll be voting for you.
Thank you very much.
Council Devaney?
I voted no. I wanted to hear from you because you have such a wonderful, I can't even go back, 38 years. 38 years you have served, well, you started out as a tax counsel and also the chief counsel, and you were a board member before that. But your knowledge and advising through the years and everything is phenomenal. I can't say enough. And tell us about that, how you progressed from being the tax counsel and advising them about issues. Tell us all that experience and how you went from the different roles.
Sure. I started, as you say, Counselor, as a tax counsel, somewhat reluctantly. I was a litigator when I got right out of law school and didn't really want to sit behind a desk and didn't really want to practice tax law. Got into it, and I saw that literally there are new issues every day. I was fascinated by the tax law. I've stayed there, and I've served as chief counsel for 4 different chairmen, and obviously the top of that list would be Tom. I learned a lot from Tom, and I hope to continue kind of the standard he set for getting the best out of his staff, treating the people that appear in front of him with respect, getting responses to motions and responses to hearings out quickly and well-reasoned. So it's been an honor to serve with Tom, and I hope to build on the foundation he laid.
Well, I want to thank you for the time you gave me. I only got a few days and I had to see 4 or 5 people. It's outrageous, but I appreciate all your service and we need that. You know, I like to see people move up and, you know, I think it always bothers me, and I've seen it. I saw it in the SJC. To take someone outside and make them the chair, to me, is wrong. You have someone there that's experienced and has the qualifications. I think it's so disrespectful. So I'm so glad that you were reappointed. And I don't want to cry, but I do want to publicly say I'm sorry for your loss this past year.
Thank you very much, Council.
Thank you. Council Kennedy?
I don't have any questions. You're doing a great job. I'll be voting for you next week.
Thank you, Council DiPaolo.
Council.
Counselor, I don't have any questions. This was a good week for me to learn about the Appellate. I already called some folks, and I heard good things about all of our nominees. So I'll follow up with questions if I have them prior to the assembly.
Thank you very much, Council.
Thank you, Council. I have no questions. Most of us really don't have a deep knowledge of the Appellate Tax Board, if we would be honest. And we appreciate very much your expertise and your dedication to the Commonwealth. So that said, I adjourn the hearing.
Great job, Council.
Executive Council, Council Chambers, State House, Boston, Mass. Dear Councilors, I'm pleased to nominate Patricia M. Good for reappointment as a member of the Appellate Tax Board to a term expiring on February 28th of 2027. Submit this nomination and designation with advice and consent of the Executive Council. So to Mass General Laws 58A, Section 1, I appreciate your consideration of this nominee. A resume is attached for your convenience. Sincerely, Charles D. Baker. So we've heard from the witness. Are you comfortable with waiving your opening?
I am comfortable.
Hey, Councilor Devaney, your time starts now.
Nice to see you again. Thank you. I had to jam you in. They're hurting the men, so thank you for the time. I'm sorry for this, that you had to be so late. It's supposed to be 3:30. I am so glad that you have been appointed. I have to say, in my experience at the Appellate Tax Board, everyone has been so great. Only my first year, and I think because of everyone's opinion, the then governor removed some of the board who was me to everybody on the board, was me to everybody who went before her. That was the only time. I'm so proud to be able to vote for a great board. And you know, it is so important on the Appellate Tax Board. Tell us what you have done. You have been the council, or why don't you tell us?
Sure. Well, as Tom was indicating, I started at the department. I met him first at the Department of Revenue and then followed him essentially down to the Appellate Tax Board, where I joined the legal department, and I was lucky enough to call Mark my boss there. I'll be lucky enough, hopefully, to call him my boss again as chairman of the board. That was a great way to get introduced to the work of the board, writing the findings for all of the then commissioners. I got schooled on the law and the nuances, the issues that face us, both in the property. I had come from the state tax world, so I knew a lot about that, but I got up to speed with the property tax issues as well, and I'd like to think I'm sort of ambidextrous in them now, 9+ years later. So yeah, it's hard to believe this is my third time here before you all. I thank you for having me today. I'm so glad to be nominated and to be here again. But it's been a great 9 years, and I'm hopeful to continue doing this work. I think that, you know, as baton passes from one chairman to another, I have to say Tom has just cultivated an amazing workplace and left it behind in shipshape for Mark to take over. It's a wonderful, supportive place to be. Everyone should feel about, everyone should have the workplace that we have. Everyone should feel about their colleagues the way I feel about my colleagues. It's just an incredibly supportive place to work.
Now, tell me, going back, you know, we're going way back now, and when you started the Massachusetts Department of Revenue Litigation Bureau, tell us how that experience, you know, it helped you to be qualified to be appellate tax board member.
Sure. Well, it was useful because I was litigating before the board, of course, those cases. So that got me, you know, schooled in how it works and what's important and what we do. And it made me a better commissioner, I think, having been on the other side of the bench, you know. So it was very useful. Again, getting knowledgeable about the state taking tax cases as well.
So, you know, I'm very pleased that you stayed, and I wish you all good luck, and I'll be very pleased to be voting for you.
Thank you.
You know, great board. And, you know, that's wonderful to be able to look back and look at my record of voting 23 years, and I'm so proud of every vote, really. Great job. Thank you.
It's a great place to be. I mean, I think we've had great nominations.
Thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilor Duff.
I have no questions. Again, you know, we spoke, and this is a very, very specific part of law. And you know, we have an incredible council. The lawyers on this council are very good at what they do. And this, you know, we don't have anyone with your expertise, frankly. So we do our due diligence, we do our research, we find out about you, and you seem terrific, and I'm just grateful that you're willing to serve again. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Kennedy.
How's my abatement coming? I'm voting for you. You as well next week. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Councilor DePaulo.
No questions.
For,
I already told you I'm voting for you.
Thank you.
okay, sorry. Are you done?
I'm done, thank you.
Councilor Hurley. Sorry, I missed you. Councilor Hurley.
She had a medical appointment.
She may have, because she's quite sick.
Okay. Okay, if she has any questions with it, but I've been pleased to vote for you 2 prior times, and I think we haven't heard one bad word about you, the other nominee. You're doing a great job there, and if Tom Hammond says you're doing a great job, that's good enough for me. So we'll be voting on you next week.
Thank you.
Okay,